going to go to her, author of Pornland, How Porn Has Hijacked Our Sexuality, Dr. Gail Dines. Miss Dines, could you speak on tonight's topic?
Well, yes, thank you for having me on. I certainly can. I think this is actually a very serious topic and not something to be joked about. When you look at what's going on in the porn industry and you look at the level of brutality and the level of cruelty in the movies today, because, you know, we're not talking about Playboy anymore. We're not talking about naked women smiling in a cornfield. We're talking about body-punishing sex. We're talking about anal, vaginal, and oral penetration. We're talking at the same time where women are being called vile, hateful names. We're talking about women being debased, women being dehumanized. We're talking about things such as ATM, such as gagging with a penis. These are sex acts that are designed to debase women.
Miss Dines, what is ATM? What was that?
Well, can I say this on your radio station?
Yes, you can.
It's ass to mouth, where basically a man puts his penis in a woman's anus and then without washing goes straight to her mouth.
Oh, a dirty Sanchez.
Yeah, well, whatever you want to call it. But you see, this is not humorous. This is quite serious when you think, first of all, about the health issues, and secondly, that it's designed to debase women. What arousal factor is there in ATM outside of the debasement of women? So I think we need to really shift the conversation to talk more about what it means about gender politics. And also one of the things I study is the racism in pornography. I mean, pornography is full of images of African American men especially, but also women, that would be absolutely not allowed in any other media form, but they get away with it in pornography. And this is geared towards white men. So what this is doing is cementing racist stereotypes in the minds of white men as they masturbate. Not to mention that it cements sexist stereotypes in the minds of men as they masturbate also.
True.
So these are really
wait, Gail, you're on a filibuster real quick. Hold on.
Yeah.
This is why you're on the show. We want you to cover these things. And I know it comes across as humorous, but it's not. We definitely want you to come in and elucidate on your book and your perspective. So this is your time to shine. It's your platform right now to educate the millions of listeners who are listening to you bang on me right now. But let's continue. Okay. Let's talk about some of the racist aspect. Isn't there a series out there called Ghetto Gaggers?
Yes, there's Ghetto Gaggers, which has got some of the worst forms of violence against women that I have seen in pornography. The women look absolutely dejected, they look exhausted, they look demoralized by the end of it. There's another series that's very popular called Oh No, There's a Negro in My Mother, or Oh No, There's a Negro in My Daughter, which is basically black men and white women. And what they do is they basically depict black men as sexual monsters out to rape white women. Well, we know this has a long history in this
like a Birth of the Nation film.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, if they started coming out with Birth of a Nation type movies today, there'd be an outcry. I mean, look at Don Imus. Quite rightly, he got fired for what he said. But yet, you know, they call black women hoes all the time in pornography. Why is there not an outcry to that? And yet there was an outcry to Don Imus.
And you're absolutely right. As a matter of fact, John E. Depp is here right now, famous porn star. He doesn't like to be called a star, but he is a star. Johnny Depp would like to respond to your statement. Johnny?
I want to respond about the racism. I mean, you're exactly right. You know, even if you go online and when they specify penis, you know, it's not big penis, it's big black penis.
Mandingo.
Black being the operative word. So that's what white men have created. They've created this. And ask me how I know, because I've worked with several directors, and I've had directors tell me, hey man, you get a black guy, big penis, blah blah blah, and you get a little white woman, there's your formula. Now
that's a hit.
That's a hit. You know, I don't make the rules. You know, society makes the rules. And I agree with you. Yeah, they do look at me as the animal, the big beast. You know, let's take it back to the 30s. Look at King Kong.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's basically what it is. You got
Planet of the Apes.
You got this big black Mandingo, you got this big black ape, and who you have? This little blonde white woman.
Sure.
You know, and the slave master want to see the big black buck tear through this little white woman. You know, so you set this up.
So let me do this. That's a great point. Let me do this. Gail, are you saying that, because I'm taking what Johnny is saying, and he's saying this is the infrastructure, this is the power infrastructure from the top down.
The powers that be.
Right, the powers that be. and combined with Gail's information, what she just said, are you telling me that the people at the top, the white dudes at the top, are getting off on the destruction of poor little white girls?
I don't
Hey,
think.
man, call a spade, brother.
Sorry, I don't think that those who are, the wealthy guys who are doing this are getting off on that. What they're doing, which all capitalists do, which all businessmen do, is they maximize profits. So let's think, why do white men want to watch white women being penetrated over and over again by a black male? And this
Is it penis envy?
Well, no. What I think's going on, if you think that pornography is about the debasement of women, what better way in a racist society to debase a white woman in white men's eyes by having her penetrated by a black man? That's the ultimate debasement for white women in a racist society.
Okay,
point.
That's a good point. But did the black man make this?
No, of course
Now,
not.
Exactly. Now, who makes this? Now, the white man hired me to come to have sex with this white woman. Now, you know, in your right mind, and I'm 39 years old. You know, 20 years ago, even maybe 25. Help me out on the math. I couldn't even look at you. You understand? And if I whistled,
Emmett Till.
For those history buffs out there, if I whistled at you, you mean to tell me you're gonna beat me and wrap a fan around my neck just because I whistled at? So you mean? But now it's okay. They want to see me, the big black mandingo. They want to see the big black buck, have sex with a white woman, because a lot of it is like, oh, I can't do it. So I'm going to get somebody that can do it, and I'm going to get off on it.
Can I just say that this isn't just about you. This is about the African American community. And I would say, in a way, when you participate, what you do is you make racism worse for African Americans in general. Now, it's not just you. I want to blame the whites who control this.
But you're saying the people who buy into what is being offered.
Yes.
They're actually perpetuating the problem.
Absolutely. And I'm saying to also your guest that when he makes this, what he's doing is it's having a profound effect on his own community. And I think it's not just about you and whether you do pornography. It's about what it says about your community to white racists. And that's what troubles me.
And let me say this too, Gail Dines. Another aspect is, the stereotype of sexuality for men versus the stereotype for sexuality for women. John E. Depp might be seen as somewhat of a hero because he gets to bang as many women as he wants, whereas the women are perceived as whores. Doing research, of course. I looked at one of those ghetto gaggers, and the thing that was off-putting, the thing that just was like, this isn't sexy or intimate or fresh, was they're gagging the woman until she vomits. And then the white dude spits in the woman's face, or he spits in her mouth. And this is on top of all of the negative epithets that's being thrown at her at the same time.
Exactly.
And I'm thinking to myself, this is not like an intimacy builder. This is not romantic. This isn't a mood starter right here.
And to add on to what you're saying, like, you have to understand, like, every porn person doesn't look at porn like that. Me personally, I love women. I love to see a woman orgasm. If I can make a nut, oh man, that makes my job and that's better.
It's fake in pornography. These are not.
Hey, sweetie, I've done enough of them, and some of it, not all. You know what? Not all of it is fake.
But you're paid to fake arousal. That's what you get paid to do.
I'd like to speak to that as somebody who Dr. Dines has been in the industry, both in front of and behind the camera.
Say your name really quickly.
Diana DeVoe. How are you doing, Dr. Dines?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great. I'm a black woman, and I can only speak to being a black woman in America. I mean, obviously in Europe and places like that, they have different standards of beauty. I am not the standard of beauty here. I was certainly not treated as standard of beauty here. And one of the reasons why there's not this outcry is that, to me, and I haven't grown up around black people, but being in Los Angeles, I've since learned that, we have all of this religious baggage, I'll say, that prevents us from speaking out against stuff like this. Because me as a black woman, I'm not supposed to be doing this. So if I'm getting my mouth spit into, by the way, that's never happened to me in the 3 years I was performing. But if I'm getting my mouth spit into, that's my fault, because I should have my ass in church. I should not be there, and you're wrong for that, and you're wrong for that.
But wait a minute, Diana. How do you reconcile that? I mean, how is that? How do you reconcile being an adult film star but yet having some kind of moral compass or religious belief?
Oh, I'm not saying that I do. I'm saying that in my opinion, the black community, whatever that is,